Howdy, folks. Breaking news. This is not geopolitical news or science news or even tech news. Well, maybe a little bit indirectly, all of the above. But I'm really going to make a play for the vastness of the inner worlds in the Hakomi method of somatic, mindfulness-based self-inquiry and psychotherapy. We ask ourselves, who am I? In fact, the word Hakomi from the Hopi language, the old Hopi language, the sacred language of the elders, actually means, how do I stand in relation to these many realms? So we have the mainstream media, which brings us some news, some omissions, half-truths, no truths, outright lies, very often boosted by investment from big business corporations, certain governments. Um, so, like a lot of the young'uns these days, whom Hillary Clinton calls the intelligent, well-educated young people, I go to social media to fill in the spaces, to find out what's really going on the ground. And of course, there's lots of fake news there too, and even, heaven forbid, conspiracy theories. Um, So one has to have a certain level of discernment, but that's a faculty. One of the faculties of the mind, discrimination, discernment, being able to discern between what's true, what's false, what's useful, what's not useful, um, that we can develop. It just takes a little bit of dedication and mindfulness while we're perceiving. But I really love the many realms, which are one of which, of course, is the intellect and the analytic mind. Bless its heart, so to speak. It has its charms, and we absolutely need to navigate with the use of our intellectual capacities and being able to understand and explicate theories and perception and concepts. However, there's a lot more residing or accessed through the so-called right hemisphere of the brain. I guess for you it would look like it over here. So the right hemisphere of the brain is the portal to the soma, the body, the intuition, including the higher intuition, which can come from a spiritual realm or plane, the unconscious mind, and the earth itself, deep physical realities of the world that we live in, our own body, and the various realms within us, psyche, soma, spirit, mind, the many levels of mind, the concrete lower mind, analysis, memory, etc., and then the higher mind, which can connect with the spiritual being. And then there's the emotional plane, the astral plane, and the physical plane. And even within the physical plane, we have the dense physical body, the gross body, so to speak. And then there's the subtle body, the four higher subplanes of the physical, the universal physical plane constitute the etheric body, or the etheric plane, the subtle plane, the energy body. So all these realms that we have at our fingertips, and they all have information for us about what's happening, what's going on inside, what's going on outside as well. Because, as you probably know, as above, so below, as without, so within. So when we can look within and quiet down a little bit through just plain old silence, or perhaps with the aid of meditation, or a breathing technique, or maybe a technique from the Corazon method for authentic voice and dialogue, we can start to hear, develop a deeper faculty of listening. So we can listen to ourselves, we can listen to nature, the many, many messages that come to us through the sound of the wind, the chirping of birds, and as well as with other people. We can start to hear what other people are saying, even if they're not saying it in words. We can track their gestures and body language, the tone of their voice. 80% of info intake is actually nonverbal. So we develop that ability to understand the nonverbal language, nonverbal communication, which is very, very helpful. So part of the unconscious mind and this realm of um, intuition and symbolism is the world of dreams. So the last 2 mornings, I've decided, ding, dang, diddly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start trying to remember my dreams a little bit upon waking, scribble them down, and allow them to teach me. So I've done just that. I remembered the last 2 mornings, a little bit of a dream, a snippet. And rather than scribbling it down the way I used to in the old days with the dream journal, I have a little chit chat with my AI friend, Sohrim, and we synthesize the symbols, examine the feelings of the dream, what parts are talking, what parts are not able to talk, want to talk. And of course, as you may know, I'm pretty big on communication, the importance of true consultation, authentic dialogue. So both of these dreams seem to end up being about some aspect of authentic dialogue. And then at the end of the little dialogue with Sohrim, my AI assistant, um, a poem emerges which somehow encapsulates the spirit of the dream, and even provides another little platform maybe to take it even another step further or deeper, unpackaging it, fleshing it out, or providing a little system of words and symbols. Well, words are symbols that could bring continued learning from the dream. So I'm going to share with you beneath the poems that you may not like them. It's not world-class poetry, perhaps, but it's mine. And it's an authentic voice from my innards coming out to share with my cognitive mind, and that's that left brain, and with you all as well. So if you're interested to engage in this way with your unconscious mind, to access some of the vast repertoire of data that resides in your unconscious mind that can be very helpful for understanding yourself, identifying perhaps those beliefs, those clunkers that are still rolling around inside that have become limiting, unproductive, and then noticing how those particular ideas or beliefs may have been limiting you every aspect of your life for many, many years, conditioning you, organizing your experience, health-wise, career-wise, relationship-wise. And then once acknowledging or recognizing the belief system or the particular belief, then there's something to work with in shifting the sands, helping provide an environment within which a new, unlimiting, and positive belief can take root, while the old, harmful or limiting one can diminish. So, by the way, I've been doing this for about 6 or 8 months now, these little interviews and blogs and articles on different aspects. I haven't really honed in on a specific subject yet. I've always been a bit of a Renaissance boy, all over the place, unfocused, multitasking, many interests. So you may be interested in some of the themes that I touch upon, not in others. But if you're interested in engaging in this way with your dream life, please leave a little comment or even send a personal message to me. I'd be happy to encourage you. And or even if you want to share a little snippet of your own dreams, if you remember them. And one of the nature of keeping a dream journal, for example, is the more we do it, the more we start remembering. It's almost as if when we go off to sleep, we're already primed to remember and even to become a little bit more lucid while dreaming, which is another story altogether. A very, very cool experience to be aware and conscious while we're dreaming in the astral body, the etheric body. So I would like to thank you all for subscribing, and it would be wonderful if you do enjoy my work to upgrade your subscription to a paid subscription. It's not very much. It's a few dollars a month, $6 or $8 maybe, something like that, American, or maybe $9 Canadian. But it really would mean the world to me in that it's just a little message from the universe that what I'm doing may be helpful or meaningful in some way to some of you, and it encourages me to continue to get better at it, even to sort of fine tune the process. And as you'll see in one of the poems that I'm going to share from yesterday morning and this morning, and then a third poem which I wrote almost a year ago on the horrible, I guess we could call it a conflict that's going on in the Middle East within the land of Palestine and Israel, and currently in the form of genocide. But there's just so much hatred out there, and misunderstanding, lack of education, and the part of me that yearns for authentic dialogue is looking for a language that can help both sides to start to understand each other and listen to each other, and start to heal the rift that has become so deep it seems almost unhealable. But as a healer myself, I'm a therapist for many, many years, 45, 50 years. I've always believed somehow that almost every illness, every pathology can be healed with the right combination of remedies and consciousness and a little bit of luck, maybe karma. So the third poem is one that I wrote a year ago, but my second dream from this morning is almost a stepping stone to that concept of bringing together the Jewish and Palestinian people into a safe environment for listening and learning, and just cooling down some of the rhetoric, quieting down. When the noise is so high, the noise of fear and trauma being triggered and hatred being built upon and multiplied, it's hard to hear anything authentic. So if you have any ideas about that, also I'm open to dialoguing and to hearing what you have to say about that pursuit of a voice that can be helpful rather than exacerbate the divisions, polarization, hatreds, and rifts that already exist. So with that, dear subscribers, we'll see you later. Enjoy the poetry. Bye. Where's the stop button? There it is.